love! It's me, your Femboy, and today we are doing another Femboy fashion video. This one is a little different because instead of the fashion that's down here, it's the fashion that's up here, as in this. I have gotten this request, I think once or twice, and it mostly has been brought to my attention by really close friends of mine, which is why I wanted to do it, because that's what friends are for. So yeah, I don't want to like draw this out too much. It's pretty simple. All I'll say is that hair is very tricky and it's very different for everybody. So what works for me might not work for you, but I at least want to let you know how I do it, and then maybe if you try it, you get like similar or even better results. Like honestly, don't go in thinking I'm some like master hairstylist or anything, because I am absolutely not. Like I bet you could do like it in a million different other ways. This is just how little me does it. And thankfully it's not that difficult. So if you don't want anything that's too tricky, I feel like this could be good. So, and of course you don't have to be a femboy to use it. That's just the title of the video because it fits the theme of the series that I do. Yeah. So to get your hair like mine, I use these three products. I don't know if a hair dryer is technically a product, but it is probably the most important thing in the process of drying your hair, I would think. Hopefully yours isn't as dirty and old as mine's is, but even if it is, that's a-okay. Then I like to use Sexy Hair's Big Root Pump Plus. They should be much bigger than this. They should be closer to the size of this can. I just have a travel size one right now. On average, they are about $20-ish. So they're not super cheap, but they will last a very long time. So I definitely think it is a good investment, especially for the fluffication of your hair. Now this is what keeps it all together. Pretty literally, I guess. So this is also by Sexy Hair. And I use it doesn't exactly matter as long as it is at least 7 holds. I find that is a good bit for my hair because it is like thicker and so heavier, so it needs a stronger hold to keep it up in place. But if your hair is lighter, obviously you could use a lighter one. And this will also get you around $20. There is a really good one also by, I believe, Hardhead, I think is the name of the brand, or that's the name of the hairspray. I cannot remember the name of the actual brand, but the name of it is Hardhead, and it is very hard, as the name suggests. But really anything by that brand, I feel like it's kind of close to Sexy Hair, although I have a personal bias because I just like their products. Now this is entirely optional. I personally stopped using it just because I notice with my hair it tends to almost weigh it down sometimes and giving it the opposite effect. You have to be very, very careful with how much you use, because this is essentially, it says transforming paste, but it works almost the same as any sort of styling wax. So it will give you that result where it's just like you style your hair with your fingers, and then boom, that style is now just there without hairspray. But depending on how much you use, it can actually have the opposite effect and weigh down your hair. So while I would recommend maybe trying it if you're curious, I have not had super good luck with it, so I don't know. As of right now, it's optional. Okay, so obviously your first step should be to have your hair all cleaned with preferably shampoo and conditioner. You probably could do the techniques here that I'm going to show, but I don't know. It'll feel sticky, and from experience, that will absolutely lead to split ends and other gross stuff. But anyway, so once it is damp, not completely wet, but damp, I like to scrunch it from the ends up. That way, so it gives my hair a little extra boost in the curl department, and also just can apply that curl more evenly. You can skip this step if you already have a lot curlier hair than mine, or you just don't really care that much. So next you want to try and use that root pumper I talked about. Apply it directly to your roots and try to get it as evenly as possible from all directions you would like that little extra boost from. For me, I like it everywhere, so I use a little bit of the root pump everywhere. So yeah, it lasts more than I would say hairspray, since you don't need as much. Just a quick little spritz on the roots should be fine. Now, what you want to do is blow dry your roots, and I would recommend pulling the hair like very gently. Of course, don't tug it, but pull your hair gently upwards while you blow dry. That way, so that while the pump takes effect, it adds that boost to your hair. You can't just put the pump in and blow dry as normal. You sort of have to blow dry it while it's risen for it to have the right effect. I have definitely just tried it without the method I'm using here, and you just get very flat, hard hair. And to me, that's no bueno. So from there, I usually just generally like blow dry, kind of tussling the hair, giving it a light bit of scrunching. Although you have to be careful, as the root pump could be a little sticky if you used a lot of it. And if your hands get sticky from using the root pump or just through some kind of means, I would absolutely recommend washing them between scrunches, or else you will absolutely get split ends and your hair will just look like a frizzy, gross mess. That's why my hair looks so bad half the time. But thankfully, I'm trying to learn my lesson and stay more on top of keeping my hands nice and clean and non-sticky, so this doesn't happen again. And you should too. From there, you sort of just scrunch it in the areas you want the extra bit of boost while just finishing your blow drying. I usually like to make sure my hair is nice and dry, but I have heard you could apply hairspray and all the other techniques I'm going to do later with your hair slightly damp. I've never tried it, but if you want to, go ahead. I mean, maybe it works better. Maybe I shouldn't dry my hair 100%, but right now, that's what I'm doing. You take the hairspray and you spray it on your roots. I like to spray it around the areas that you use the root pump on, but I find that spraying directly in the roots and in sort of the more inner parts of your hair, as opposed to just like the outside of it, gives you more of a boost to your floofiness. And I feel like that is very much where a lot of it comes from, because you gotta give the floof good inner support, or else it'll just get flat and yucky and gross. So I would recommend doing that and sort of just applying as much as you need to until you get the desired effect. For me, sometimes it wants to behave and I don't have to use that much, but other times it just heats me and makes me put a little too much. It's mostly a preference thing, so just kind of experiment and spray away, and hopefully you should also get nice and floofy at the end. And after scrunching, drying, and getting all root pumped, your hair should be all 100% floofy. Of course, it might not look exactly like mine. As I said, hair is entirely different based on the person. But, I don't know, hopefully it looks similar at the very least. Even if it's not a similar style or length, which I'm sure probably contributes to that, a lot. So also, your hands probably won't be as blue as mine, unless you also just dyed your hair, or you just fisted a Smurf. Either or, really. Yeah, that's kinda about it. And like I mentioned at the very beginning, this might not work for you. In fact, you might find ways that work way better and without all like the yucky like little stray bits that come here and there from all like the tussling I do with it. Because honestly, I'm looking for a better way to do it myself. So if you have found a way, either through experimenting with the way I did it, or just in general know of a better technique that maybe I could use, I would love to hear it, because I could absolutely do a part 2 if I find any like new techniques to incorporate to kind of maybe show you. So yeah, I'm very excited because if I plan this right, this should be releasing on the last day of September, which means October is literally right around the corner, and I'm so excited. I love the spooky season so much, and I know a lot of you out there do too. So I'm going to be doing a spooky video every week like I did last year. And so like last year, for Christmas, the first one is going to be a review. And like the one I did for Christmas, it is a Disney Plus movie of a sequel, like of a very famous holiday movie of the season. So that should give you a hint about what I'm going to be reviewing. So hopefully it's better than the Home Alone one, because, ooh boy, I didn't like that. But yeah, I can't wait to show it to you. I love you, and I want to rub you too.